Welcome to the Gary Abbott Budget Watch Reviews. Today I do have a review, a Welly Merck watch. A Welly Merck watch. My first Welly Merck watch ever. And I have to make a disclaimer. They did send this to me with no conditions. So this again is going to be an honest review of the watch. And let's get to the details of the watch. It comes in this great box, and you can see the watch here. It is World Time. It's called the World Time, and here's what you want to note. It has all the major cities around the world. It kind of has the planet on the dial. It has raised indices. I kind of like the raised indices. It has silver hands. It is a busy dial. But when you move this top crown A, you rotate that inner bezel to the city, like I'm rotating it here to New York, and it tells you, like Paris is a 6-hour time difference. It's ahead by 6 hours. Now this is my first World Time watch, and the bracelet, I like the bracelet. I like the looks of the bracelet. Now these kind of butterfly clasps, I'm not a huge fan of the butterfly because it doesn't have a lot of micro adjustment. It either with the link in or out either works for you. This butterfly clasp works really well. I did take out first 2 links for my very large wrist, and it was a little tight. I had to put a link back in. You can see end to end here, lug to lug. I'm going to do some dimensions here. But you can see the watch in the Miyota movement. It's going pretty good. I did wear this watch for a few days to really get a feel for it. And I had no issues. Some watches I put on and I take off and I don't wear. But when you look at the box that it comes in, this is kind of better than the plastic cases that you usually get. You get a nice watch case with this watch, and you get the tool to take out links and put links back in. So here is the tool that you use to take links in and out. It's a typical that you get, and you can look at the bracelet, and it does give you markings which way to push the pins out. It isn't screw down pins, it's just a push through pin. I didn't have any issues with it. I was able to do it, but let's take a look at the measurements of the watch. So I'm getting a reading of about 41.5, depending on where I put it on the watch. This is 41.2. I think it really depends exactly where you put it. I got it probably to 40.8. Thickness of the watch, about a 12.1, 12.2. Yeah, any watch under 13 to me is a good watch. Now the crystal looks very clear. Let's do lug to lug. I'm up with lug to lug at 52.8. But the watch, I was impressed with the Welly Merck logo. The print on the dial looked good based on there's so much with all the cities on there. The lower crown is where you set the time and date, set the time and date. And also, if you need to kind of wind it up to get it to its full, you use the bottom crown. And actually the movement and adjusting the time worked smoother than some other watches I've had. I tried to see if it was a screw down crown, which it was not. So let's take a look at it on the wrist. It looks pretty good. Let's take the glove off. On my 8-inch wrist, so I do have an 8-inch wrist, but I think it didn't wear too top heavy or anything like that. I think it wore pretty well. The hands kind of, after a while, the silver with the lume in the middle actually worked pretty good. At first I thought it was too busy, but after a few days of wearing it, it became very easy to see because there's a lot going on the dial. I did like the red second hand sweeping. I wanted to try it in a different light. I turned off my studio lights and took a look at the watch. It looks a little different, you know, depending on lighting. It really is a good looking watch. For those that are interested in a world time watch in which you move the dial to see what time it is in other countries, I liked it. I liked it. I don't have a world time watch in my collection, and this seemed to work really well. Actually, I kind of prefer it over some of the GMTs that you're figuring out how many hours and where you are. And the Miyota movement seemed to work fine. Wearing it every day, I didn't have to wind it every day. So the movement kept up with my everyday use. Never stopped on me and had to reset the time or date, and kept very accurate time. So I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, this is just regular light. I kind of got rid of my studio lights, and then I kind of said, yeah, we kind of see what it looks like. Again, the pins that you push through, you don't really get a half length either. You either get a full length or you know, so it either works on your wrist or it's a little loose. You know, I did adjust it with an extra link, and it seemed to be fine. So I decided to test the sapphire glass. And as you'll be able to see, it is sapphire glass on the front glass. It is mineral on the back of the watch. So then I thought I would try to give you some lume. So my first attempt was just to lighten up the dial. And as you can see, the planet, the Earth, the land masses somewhat loomed up. So I was curious, and I decided to take it into the dark, and voila. Wow. It's kind of got the green lume for the indices, the hands, it works, and then kind of this bluish, the dial. And I was impressed. I was impressed. I usually don't care about lume, but on this watch, it kind of works, and it's kind of a lot better than many others. Now, I'm not saying it's going to last for a long time, but I did not really do a lot to just see what this looked like. So what's my assessment of the watch? It's well made. The band is good. It's got its limitation. There's no, you know, quick adjustment. You can take out the links. The dual dial I've worked with before on Bernie watches that were dive watches, that the second dial under the glass was a second turn. I like the world time. I do like being able to just kind of glance at the watch and say, you know, Paris is 6 hours different. It's nice, it's easy to adjust. So for a world time watch, I really did like the case. I liked what they did. I liked the open back to see the Miyota movement. I like this watch. For under $100, this is a great watch. This is an honest opinion of mine, is that if you are looking for a world time watch to include in your collection, this may be the watch. I think this company's up and coming with its other unique designs. I did put in my AliExpress. I was impressed with the Twin Moon watch. There's another fancy watch that I just saw. They're coming out with some more unique stuff than the typical dive watch, dress watch. Yeah, I like it. I would recommend it. So thanks for watching the Gary Budget Watch Reviews. If you like this, hit the like button. If you want to give me comments on the watch, put those down in the comments below. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.